way too far. No. Because he's just going to watch you playing. Welcome in, Jacob. Hey, CBC. Prima. Is that too far? I already told him to stop with the big ball because all he wants to play and. Hey, Peter, how are you? Yeah, we're on week 3 here on the school. I was about to say you said this morning that you went to sleep at midnight, so you're a little behind schedule. Please toss him that one a couple times. Too far. It's extra short now. What's going on, Matt? What? I didn't make it shorter. It's after he got it in the fire and it. So what did everyone do today? Oh, it's 3 months, Jacob. Nice. Sounds good. Why was it a bad day, CBC? What happened?
He went to go for the ball and ended up biting me.
Sometimes, Peter, those are the best days. I get a little bit of nervous energy though if I don't do something. So I gotta be putzing around, if that makes sense. Like what, Jacob? Like for real life? Like they do sell like gas and electric like kits that you can put on bikes. Just so we're on the record, he did absolutely nothing.
Who did absolutely? What are you talking about? kind? Is it a soccer ball?
Yes. It's okay, Peter. That's totally fine. Nice. Two-stroke or four-stroke, Jacob? And CBC, don't buy into the hype and the lies. Just let it go. People are going to talk. They're going to talk. Hey, Gigi. A little grocery shopping visit. Oh, my mom closed accounts. Last hot day of the year. We're not hot by any means today, but after tomorrow, the rest of the week is supposed to be highs of mid-60s, which I'm looking forward to very much. Peter, CBC said that people were making up lies and saying stuff. I didn't have a whole lot of details beyond that. You and your electric bikes have beef? Son and I have electric scooters, but not bikes. Mama is right here, Mariana. Along with hundreds of cicadas. Hundreds. Remus! Remus! We're going to nip this stuff in the bud. Come. Remus, now. Bring it to me here and I will throw it. He doesn't listen. I'm here, CBC. Mama's here. Same here, Matt. Summer is usually miserable for me. I'm looking forward to Matt. It's that's a page out of Dad's playbook. I run hot. Can't stand summer. Fall is arguably my favorite. Winter, like it's like 1A, 1B. Spring is 2. Summer is like my 10th favorite season. Now I'm also adding some LED in. Nice, Jacob. So you can just plan to use that to go to and from school and just around town? Potato Rock doesn't look as potatoey up close. Remus, if you bring it here, I will throw it. Just so we're on record, Peter, he is absolutely annihilating his soccer ball. And that's out of his reach. I gotta go fix that. Yeah, Fagari's right here. Ugh. There we go. The dog? Sure. The dog is right there. That's his soccer ball that he popped. Oh, on our end, Shannon, we had baked masticholi, but I used farfalle noodles instead of masticholi noodles with meatballs and homemade garlic bread. We had it left over from a bunch of stuff I made yesterday with Son. So that'll actually be some forthcoming Dad and Son Cook and Eat It All videos. You won't bring it to school unless I put a lock. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. How about you, Shannon? And then, no, Matt, they take a break in the cool. So it's warm enough tonight that they're out doing their thing. We still never found GG 3.0. But ravioli, that's in the same vein. And Mariani, actually all the cars are operational right now. I think we're good, GG and Peter, for right now. Mariana did get timed out earlier by Journey, but I think we're good right now. Hold on, I gotta go collect his soccer ball again. They're too far away. Uh-oh. I'm willing to guess if you had 10 bowls of ravioli, those are small bowls. Otherwise, you'd be bursting. Does that include the locks and alarms, Jacob? And what do we call euros? Remind me, Peter. Yeah, exactly, Matt. No, if you're housing 10 bowls of ravioli at one sitting, you're not going to sleep well. That's going to be some indigestion. Oh, I'm betting it was yummy. That's what I was saying, Shannon. This is some small bowls of ravioli. It's like when you eat fried ravioli. Each one counts as one. I'm not denying that you did it, CBC. I'm just saying that's a lot of ravioli. And that's going to sit awfully heavily. Especially depending on what it's stuffed with. Now, are gyros in Greece, are they a mix of beef and lamb like they are here, or are they all lamb? Sounds like Jacob's bike. Oh, Shannon, don't start. Don't start. Don't. I don't think you were here for that conversation. You're going to get Peter going. So I don't think Shannon was here for that conversation. I said anything in a vessel like that is kind of like a certain other item that's shaped like that. And Peter did not like that. He thought it was a slander against gyros. That was not my intent. My intent was to say handheld food in a shape like that. We're not going down this road again, because I respect Peter's take on it, but I also believe that anything in between bread is a sandwich. Anything shaped in a foldable vessel to me resembles a certain ethnic food that I get far more often than I get gyros, is all I'm saying. I didn't say it, Peter. I didn't say it. I promised you I wouldn't. Exactly, Shannon. Whichever one's the most common, you just say that, and then you say like it's a Canadian version. Remus, come. Now, come. Come here. Good boy. It has cheese on top and comes out of the oven, then it's a casserole. Oh, don't get started. Now you're going to poke Shannon. Because to Shannon, that's not a casserole. That's a hot dish. And it kind of proves the point of the regional differences and national differences on things. My hot take for the day is I still contend a hot dog's a sandwich. Especially when a legend in the chat puts mayonnaise on it. You put mayonnaise on anything, it's automatically a sandwich. %, Shannon. Speaking of which, we got the van up and running, and then we realized, as you guys would say in your neck of the woods, we don't have tabs for it. Somehow, someway, we forgot to buy the license plate renewal sticker. So, it's up and running, but can't take it anywhere. What happened, Peter? I mean, after €2, if I had €2, I'd be like CBC's going to feel after 10 bowls of ravioli. I'd have a little bit of indigestion, but what do you mean something happened? Welcome in, Elaine from Brazil. How are you? Yeah, on the store shelf, Matt, while you're buying Miracle Whip. Nice, CBC. What do you want to do on your birthday? I forgot to start a question. What did he do? Keep Fagari on the screen. Wow, Peter! I'm not gonna lie, you're coming in a little spicier than usual tonight. I wasn't hired. I was really confused on that one. I didn't see the last one. Local restaurant to be a waiter. I told them to bring a lot to the table. Wasn't hired. Welcome back, Gigi. So Shannon, since you asked about dinner, what are you leaning towards? And Matt, what did you have? Because I assume at this point you ate already. Well, if we don't say it beforehand, Gigi, have a good time at church. And Matt, that's a lot of keyboard puns in one joke. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty heavy. What kind of eggs? That's where it gets tricky, because I've had to learn to make all different kinds of eggs, because everyone, even though I don't eat them, everyone has a preference for their style of eggs. It's kind of like ribs. I make ribs all the time. I don't eat them, but I make them. Oh, Jacob. Went there, huh? Fried with the runny yolk. Okay. That's how Mama likes it. Fried with the runny yolk. Grandma likes it fried with the medium yolk. Son likes it scrambled. I do occasionally make sunny side up and or omelets. I have made poached, both hard poached and soft poached. Beer. Sample of sourdough bread, a bit of cheese, stuff like that. So you're nibbling. That's not a bad deal. Mama does that a lot for lunch. She's a nibbler when she's home. Yeah, CBC, we can do that for sure. Soy sauce and sriracha. Okay. A little spicy, a little salty. I like it. I like soy sauce and sriracha. Just don't put on eggs. That's an allergy thing for me. And it's not an allergy like hives and puffiness. It's an allergy thing for me, if that makes sense. Peter, that one broke me a little bit. I might be dumb, but I ain't no idiot. And Mariana, you looking forward to school? Join the gym. I got taken personal trainer. I asked him, what machine should I use to get beautiful girls? He recommended I use the ATM machine outside. Really? It's the only time you like sriracha. I dig me some sriracha. I got a sriracha ketchup made by the sriracha company, and whew, I put that on everything. Love that. I do have a ton of hot sauces, though. I'm going to go with Peter on this one, Jacob. You brought it up. You got to see it through at this point. Welcome in, Foxy. Yeah, so the Sriracha brand, they make a ketchup, and it's like the perfect mix of a little bit of, like, it cuts the heat. And again, I don't think Sriracha is very hot, but that's just my personal opinion. I think it's got a nice spice profile, but it's like perfect. They sell it at all the grocery stores by us. It's great. It's great for fries. It's great on burgers. Great on hot dogs. You name it. I did not have vacation yesterday, Mariana, so I don't know if that was to Mom and I, but we weren't on vacation. If you mean the Labor Day holiday, we spent Son and I spent all day cooking. So that's what he wanted to do yesterday. We made homemade pizzas, we made homemade garlic bread, we made homemade French bread pizzas, we made homemade bruschetta, we made homemade crostinis. We basically went to the grocery store, loaded up on stuff, and then cooked all day long.
Wow.
Please make sure you do not drop that plate on the concrete. I'm 100% the opposite, Matt. 100% the opposite. Not a huge fan of sea salt and vinegar. I basically, if I find a jalapeno chip on the shelf, I am trying it, I'm buying it, and I'm probably enjoying it. However, bonus points to anybody in the chat that knows my favorite jalapeno chip of all time in the chat.
Good job on that.
In the chat. Because usually Mama and Son answer my questions because they know the answers.
I don't know the. Oh, yes,
Really? You don't know the answer to that one?
Chat, give up. You're never gonna get it.
I've said it before to the live.
That's funny that Matt said that.
Well, Matt remembers what about the sea salt and vinegar? Oh, Tim's. Matt, that's wild. Were you in the chat when I showed the Tim's bag? We found those on clearance, and I've never had the Tim's jalapeno. It's not popular in our market. The first time I ever had Tim's was about a year ago, and it was when I was in Utah for business. And we don't get it here much. And apparently it didn't sell well because it was on the clearance shelf, but the jalapeno style was on the clearance shelf, and they are good. I would arguably say if I was going to go off my top 5 in my head list, they'd be top 5, but barely cracking the top 5. I'll give you a hint. Number 1 is a sandwich chain.
Okay.
What? Oh, yeah, Matt's got it. Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's jalapeno chips are hands down the best jalapeno chips ever manufactured ever. And if anybody from the Jimmy John's company is in the chat right now listening in, please make your chips to sell at a grocery store, at a Sam's Club, at a Costco, Amazon, wherever you want. Please. Even if it's the small size bags, please sell them. Hello, too. Well, Nakia, I can tell you that Son and I are prepared. But that's not the kind of conversational tones that we go for here. But I hope asking a question like that, you yourself are prepared. And if you are, you can decide to move on to different communities and chats where they're doing fugazi wackadoo things and not talking about jalapeno chips, and try to get them on board. Appreciate you stopping in, though.
Stop that, please. Yeah, that would got you.
I was eating the Tim's the other day, and I was promoting it on the chat, saying that I found these by accident, and they're delicious. And they are. They absolutely are. They have now moved into my top 5, and I've only had them. I actually made Mama go back to the store and buy the rest off the clearance shelf because I had the kids in the car with me. So I stayed in the parking lot with the kids while she ran in and grabbed the last 2 remaining bags in the entire store. But I also like crunchers. Matt, have you made it to Jimmy John's yet? I know you said you put it on the radar. Oh, Shannon, why? I do enjoy that Peter times out Gabe, because Gabe, it just, every time it makes me laugh. I like when Gabe comes in and then Peter comes back and says, who is that guy? Putting the flowers back. Before Remus damages them. So you making anything with the fried eggs, Shannon? Any sausage, bacon, toast, hash browns, you name it? He's still timed out, Peter. How long did you give him? That's not a bad call, though. If you've ever seen any of our cooking and eating videos, we basically make bacon, I honestly think 5 out of 7 days. So it would be bacon in our house. We are bacon freaks. But ham's a great call. I think we lost Matt because I don't know they ever responded if he ever made it to Jimmy John's, because I know he said he was putting it on his radar. But you guys don't have Jimmy John's in Greece, do you? I don't assume that they have gone that international. But if you ever do get them, it's a great like deli sandwich. And yes, you got to do the bacon. Jimmy John's. It's I don't know if you guys call deli sandwiches like cold cut sandwiches or sub sandwiches or heroes. There's a million names for them in the States, depending where you're from. I just call it deli sandwiches because it's made with deli meat. So like deli ham, deli turkey, deli roast beef, salami, capicola, so cold cuts. And then they serve it on a house-made French bread with different toppings: cucumber, tomato, onion, lettuce. Okay, Peter, you don't have to bring Gabe. It's totally okay. I think Shannon was just trying to change the subject. We're totally cool. Okay. all right, fair enough. As long as we got the pizzas checked, and you found the best frozen pizzas on the market anywhere. That's what's important. If you do make it there, Matt, I highly, highly, highly advise the sandwich that either I split with Mama if we get the like large size sandwich, which is uh, the Country Club, or if you're going the way I would go if I was getting it my own sandwich without Mama splitting it, I would get the Italian Nightclub. We don't have Blimpies in our market. They tried to like crack into the market and they didn't make it. A bunch of them opened up and then closed like right away. I would say I wouldn't even put it in the same category as Subway, but I get the argument that it's a deli sandwich in theory. It's much better. It's on par with Jersey Mike's if you got that as well. I've never seen Suits, Peter. I've seen commercials for it, but I've never actually seen the show. Yeah, same here, Shannon. They came in and did not do well at all. They sort of tanked. I tried them a few times. I was not impressed personally, but yeah, similar to Jersey Mike's, Matt. It's like fresh cut deli meats in house, all that stuff. The bread is light years better than Subway. I wouldn't say it's that much more expensive though, at least for the subs I'm getting. But Subway, you can always use like the app or find coupons or something like that. Just tastes better. No worries, Peter. We're all good. I was just saying that I've seen commercials for Suits. I've never actually seen the show. So I'm aware of the show existing, but never actually seen it. That's what my mom even gets from Jimmy John's is the BLT. Oh, Peter, it's the bane of my existence. I've heard that, Shannon. I was actually talking to somebody that's from South St. Paul, and they were talking about how Chi-Chi's is coming back. That's more to like. That's how everyone says it around me. It's not the way I actually say it. I actually say coupon, but everyone around me says coupon. And so I just say it that way. I don't want to say it's mocking. It's more an admiration. But all my circles, like they're not saying it facetiously either. They're saying it legitly as coupon. I will tell you, for anybody that's from the U.S., As a Bears fan and being from where we are, which I usually don't lead with this without somebody playing the game, nobody here actually says the Bears. Like literally nobody ever. It's not a thing. That's an SNL skit that the rest of the nation and other parts of the world have assumed that's what people from Chicago say. Welcome in, Natalie. You talking about Krispy Kreme, Shannon? Yeah, Dub Bears is the equivalent of calling a Euro something incorrect. It's like it literally makes people from this area's skin crawl. Nobody here says that ever, and that SNL skit has made Chicago Bears fans look like sort of like clowns. Yeah, so just recently, and they ended the partnership, but for about 6 months, McDonald's partnered with Krispy Kreme. And I don't know if that was nationwide, but at least in our area where you could get Krispy Kremes at McDonald's. And it has since ended. So it was like a test, if you will. And since we're in the headquarters of McDonald's, a lot of times we get the test period because they can oversee it from a corporate level. But all of our Krispy Kremes have shut down. There's none anywhere. Well, then move on, Gape. I like how when the conversation gets a little bit tense, Shannon chimes back in with the time. I love it. But I will say that if you want to see the best donuts I've ever had, and I'm not a donut eater by any stretch of the imagination, on our cooking and eating channel, there's a local donut shop by us that they make the donuts like the doorway from where they're making it to where they're on display is connected. There's a giant window so you can see people making them on demand, why it's happening. And I'm not talking machines like Krispy Kreme. I'm talking like real, actual human people making the donuts. It's called Country Donuts. It's absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. And there goes Gabe for another 86K. Yeah, Country Donuts, there's only 2 of them in existence. It's literally a local family-run donut shop that's in our area, and they're cheaper than Dunkin'. They're better than Dunkin'. They're just, it's so much different. We go there every Sunday, with very few exception after church. Every single Sunday. I actually have a cranberry muffin that I got this Sunday that I'm eating tomorrow for breakfast. Gape was nice today, although saying there was nothing interesting. We did, Shannon. There's a few left along 90, which I know probably makes sense to you. So along the 90-94 corridor, going into Wisconsin, and then along the exits in Wisconsin. But basically, once you break Rockford, there's no more. They've all closed up shop, and that was years and years and years ago. It had nothing to do with taking the dude off the rocking chair. And the one we usually go to, if we ever go to one, is in Wisconsin Dells. Natalie, you can ask. With us, you have to play the game. But there's about 15% of me that believes that you may know Jacob pretty well. There's about 15% of me knowing what Jacob's told me about alternate profiles. Not saying that's true, but about 15% of me says it's a possibility. Well, for us, Natalie, we always play a game, so we're from the U.S. If you guess a state and you're wrong, we give you clues until you get it, but I just gave a whole bunch of context clues in that conversation with Shannon. Matt, I like that one. I just don't know if I can use that one. Not gonna lie, that one's a good one. Jacob Peter, as a request from me, I would just say move on from the conversation. I think it served its shelf life, and I think Peter did his best to move on from it. I agree, Peter. I think we move forward and just continue on with the conversation, talking about the little syrup bottles that you get from the Cracker Barrels. Although, can I be honest with you? I really think the pancakes there, highly overrated. Highly. It's not as late as you might think. I'll give you the time to help narrow it down. It's 7:52 p.m., Natalie. Shannon, I would happily do that, but Mama went in to get ready because she's got to get up at 4 a.m. for work. So she's actually not present and accounted for. So we have an IHOP in town, Shannon. We don't ever eat there. Every time we've gone there, they've been so understaffed. And I don't blame the staff that's actually working because they're being run rampant. But they are so understaffed that it's impossible to get an order in. When the order's up, you never get it before it's cold. It's just, and they always have weird connections with movies. So they do like special, like, whether it be Minions or Wednesday or Jurassic Park, they do these special like meals that get kids pumped to go there. And so we always get talked into it as parents, and then we go there and we regret every last second of it. The last live, apparently today was a Roblox admin abuse thing where it's Taco Tuesday. So on that one, that's all we did. Son was just playing Roblox, and it was one of the Roblox lives. So you missing that one, I know it's not your gig, was not a bad deal. So you probably made the wise decision. However, I'm still questioning you being here at this time because as somebody that respects you as much as I do, with school starting so soon, the sleep schedule. sleep schedule. Did you end up going to McDonald's like you said you were going to, Peter? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, I would hard say that was not a great idea. I had half an orange one with lunch today. And that was after the better part of a pot of coffee, and that was a bridge too far even for me. So I cut the caffeine after that point. I wonder how many people would enter that event, Matt. Because I know some people that would be historically good at that event. Shannon, have you not been in here? A lot of times Peter and Matt go like toe to toe with dad jokes. It's been some of the lives where you can't even see the rest of the chat because they're going back and forth. So taking brand out of consideration, what is everyone's favorite deli meats to get on a sandwich? That's what I'm interested in right now, because right now I got running through my head how much I want Jimmy John's, because I love me some Jimmy John's. Shannon, they can be. Is your state landlocked? If you're talking about oceans, yes. If you're talking about access to large bodies of water, no. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't even have to do that. They got the freaky fast delivery, but I can't be putting those kind of calories in me at this hour. That's too much. It's kind of the same with me, Peter. Mama and son are the picky ones. There isn't much on anything that I won't eat. Besides stuff I'm allergic to, and there's very few things I'm allergic to, and I have certain flavors. And if you've been in previous lives, you know certain flavors that I don't play with. And it's just an aversion to those. It's not an allergy thing. It's just What's your favorite, Matt? What's your favorite meats to get on a deli sandwich, no matter where it's from? So if you're just getting a deli, if you're just going to the deli counter and getting some cold cuts, which one, take price out of the equation, which one's it getting? I agree with you wholeheartedly, Shannon. Wholeheartedly. Arizona. I actually think Arizona is an hour behind us. But we are north and east, and think of the major cities in the U.S. We're next to one of the largest major cities. So most people can name 3 or 4 U.S. cities off the top of their head without thinking, no matter where they're from. We're next to one of those. Peter, it is not as bad as people make it seem. Even what the current news cycle is making it seem like. Ooh, Reubens. So my mom is a Reuben hound. Mama likes corned beef. She says she likes Reuben, but she doesn't like Swiss cheese. She doesn't like the dressing. She doesn't like the kraut. But she will eat corned beef on rye, which is literally a corned beef sandwich, but she refuses to call it a corned beef sandwich and only calls it a Reuben. And I kindly remind her that the other things is what makes it a Reuben and not a corned beef sandwich. However, she continues to argue with me. You. I am not cars. Definitely north of Mexico. We touch a Great Lake. Idaho, Natalie, that's awesome that you guessed Idaho, because one of the people chatting with us right now is from Idaho. It is not dad, son, or mama. However, it begins with an I, so hopefully that narrows it down. So use provolone instead of Swiss. Okay. There you go, Natalie. We are from Northern Illinois. That is correct. And the reason I emphasize Northern Illinois is Illinois is a very, very, very long state. It's extremely long. I think Shannon gets a kick out of every time I say Idaho. I do say it that way on purpose, but I don't even think about it when I do say it. And it's only when folks like Shannon point it out that I realize what I'm doing. Sorry about that. My other phone was ringing, if you could hear that. It is the great state of taters, Idaho. That's where Tater Rock gets his name from. There's no initiation, Natalie. The initiation is just to be cool. No swearing, no coming after people's race, color, creed, religion, national origin, or anything else. And be willing to endure nonsense conversation about absolutely nothing. So like today, it's been about deli sandwiches, what other people have had for dinner, converting bikes into motorcycle type bikes. It's hard to explain, but if you can live with that, you're more than welcome. If that's not the room for you, then you gonna leave Minnesota off, Shannon? You gotta represent yourself. Matt, the way you respond is ask people how to pronounce Boise without messing it up. Nope, in typical Minnesotan fashion, it's hey dear, ho dear, hi dear. It's not about you. Unless you're talking about the cabin, then everything's about you. Oh my gosh. Talk about the cabin. Can't stop talking about the cabin. Or reminding people that it gets cold there on occasion. Yeah, Boise, I like that one. Especially from your neck of the woods. It's Boise, Idaho. Oh, Shannon, it's nauseating. It's nauseating. Every week, it's, oh no, we don't know if we're going to have to pull in a dock and bring in a boat. Like, okay. Yeah, there's a chill in the air. Oh. Anyways, I digress. I'll stop using my Minnesota accent. Race, religion, what about someone's geographic location? Just because I'm from Idaho, just to be harassed. Well, Matt, I don't believe anybody's harassing you. My Chicago accent and your state apparently don't coincide. I find it to be harassing when people say "da bears." I also find it harassing when people don't drop the S on the end of Illinois. That one is exhausting. So, Natalie, long story short is a lot of folks in here because we do. A great example is we went on a hike the other day and we averaged at any given time like 70 people in here, and some of the stuff was getting wild out and crazy. To ensure that it stays family friendly and calm and clean, we do have a lot of mods because not all the mods can be in at one time. Not to mention that way nobody can do anything to the legends and OGs, because if you're a mod, nobody can time you out or do anything. So it's kind of like a sign of respect to make sure that the people we know and trust have sort of not only authority but autonomy within the chat. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Exactly, Shannon. Matt, drives me nuts. There's no S on the end of Illinois. I guess it doesn't bother me from outsiders. So if somebody from Idaho is like, "Hey, you're from Illinois," I'd be like, "Yeah, but you don't say the S." But when I hear my neighbors say it, it drives me absolutely bonkers. Just bonkers. Come around long enough, you may just get granted yourself. So stick around with us, Natalie. You never know. Oh, Shannon did it. It's Minnesota. Oh, yeah, I'm from Minnesota. The best part right now, Shannon, though, is that the fair finally closed. So I get to stop hearing about that. No more word conversation about the fair. Yeah, we don't usually promote ourselves much, kind of like Shannon says, but we do have 4 channels. So we tend to go live on all 4 of them at some point. But this is our main channel. This is our fun channel. This is the channel with the biggest community. This is where we do our fun stuff. The other stuff is more instructional. The DIY channel, the cooking and eating channel. For example, this week, if you want to learn how, you can confit garlic with us. Then shortly after, we'll show you how we make our bruschetta. Then we'll show you how we make our homemade pizzas. So Matt, stay tuned for that. I know you like the pizzas, but yeah. Yep, we confit garlic to make our homemade garlic bread and to make compound butter. It's something I like to do, and I'm like, I gotta start making more cooking and eating stuff about the stuff we actually cook, because if you watch the content, it looks like we make a whole lot of frozen food and just cook bacon. I'm like, I cook a whole lot more than that. It's all right, Natalie. Welcome back. I will say, Peter, that I definitely recognize Natalie coming in and out, but at the same time, unless it's somebody that's, call it an OG or a legend or a mod, if you will, the names kind of get lost on me from time to time unless they're more consistent. Whew, that's a great question. It's an absolutely great question. I think I was wise enough to listen to people that gave me great advice when I was younger. Um, man, this kind of goes hand in hand with do you have any regrets? And there's a few habits that I picked up that I have subsequently relinquished over the years that I would say that. An older me would tell a younger me that your future self will thank you for not picking up such a habit that you think is menial at this stage in your life and will become excruciatingly hard to kick at a future point in your life. Does that make sense? But I can honestly tell you that, with very few exceptions, I'm blessed that I have literally no regret. I also have a philosophical belief in life that every choice is just a fork in the road, and you can reconnect your paths should you have taken the wrong turn. You can always right a wrong. You may not be able to mend every bridge that you passed, but you'll be able to right a wrong in the long term. So, I have very, very, very few regrets. For the record, speaking of people that pop in frequent and take us to a deeper place, Natalie went a little bit Scarface on us. Scarface was in an earlier chat and didn't ask any deep questions, just dropped some knowledge and then dipped. I've never met anybody that comes into a chat, either asks a loaded question within the parameters of the room, no less, or drops some heavy hitting, like, think bombs and then just dips. Just dips. It's crazy. That's a great take, Natalie. I like that one too. Funny, hello, how are you? If I coulda, shoulda, woulda put a few $100 in Bitcoin. Oh. Matt, I don't know what Funny's take on this, but Funny came in right at the right time, and we're in the same ballparkish, I'll say, professionalism. I cannot tell you how much I run, don't walk away from crypto. But I'm not here to advise in any way, shape, or form, and I do not want to discuss work, but I get the take. I'd prefer much more Berkey A's or Berkey B's. Or even Apple stock when they were about to tank before they brought out that new, like, hyper-colored Mac in the 90s. They were on the verge of bankruptcy. Those two takes I prefer better, but crypto makes my skin crawl. Funny, unfortunately, you're pretty late because we're back on school schedule, so I won't be on a whole lot longer. No, Natalie, those aren't, to me, they're not loaded. They're great conversation thinker pieces, so I like them. $2011. That's where you'd go back to, Peter? 2011. I'm not gonna lie, as a guy of my age, I watch stuff like Stranger Things and go back to Goonies and stuff like that, and that to me is kind of the time and the place for me. Oh, okay. 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 Makes sense, Peter. I'm like, 2011 is quite the call. MASH. That's a theme song that sends like mama's skin crawling. There's something about her childhood in that theme song. I don't know what it is. And the best recollection I can get from the stories I can pick up, because she doesn't even like talking about it, is for whatever reason her mom's always listened to TV at, the best I can explain it is like concert level audio at Wembley Stadium, even when she was younger. And she used to fall asleep to MASH reruns. And I think it used to keep mama up at night. And so to this day, that theme song like sends her into like panic mode. Well, I know Peter would like to say how old I was in 2011. I will not. But I will say 2011 is kind of like a, like for me, like it doesn't even register. As weird as it sounds, it's like I'm trying to think of anything erstwhile from that gap of years. And I know Peter isn't saying he wanted to go back to 2011, but it got me thinking. Peter, we come from all different ages, states, places, countries. We're all over the place. In my neck of the woods, funny, they call that when you're younger, that overconfidence of being full of urine and vinegar, but they don't use the word urine. You're just mad at the world and you think you know everything and you're going to show everybody. And then reality hits you and you become a little more modest in a good way. In a good way. There you go, Shannon. You got it. I prefer the other version of that funny, but yeah, in my family, it's the saying is it'll kick you in the sensitive parts. That's funny, Shannon. When the kids were having a sleepover this weekend, I specifically told them that they're not doing nothing but sitting around their tablets, staring at their tablets. They're going to do stuff like normal kids should do, like dodge traffic. That's literally the rules I had for them, like spending as much time as they did here. Now, it's a metaphoric, like you can get out in the yard, you're going to play, you're going to get dirty, you're going to do stuff. So when they were doing the crazy dance party when we were having the fire, I have no problem with that because that's what kids should be doing. That was a saying that my grandma used to drop on me all the time, Shannon. That is so true for a lot of us, Funny. Absolutely true. Yeah, I'm aging like a fine wine. And man, don't drink wine. Neither does Dad. Drinks other stuff, but not wine. Wine's not Dad's thing. I'll ferment just about anything else, and I'm okay with it. Trains going through buildings. Well, I'm happy to experience the experiences I got because I got to see stuff back in the day where we had nothing. I got to see technological advances. I mean, a great example is if we didn't have smartphones, I wouldn't be talking to you good folks right now. This is all the byproduct of that. Remind me the birth dates for Gen X, just so I'm clear. And Shannon, what's your favorite kind? Though I don't promote it on the channel, I'm not adverse to it, but there's corn, there's potato, there's rye. I have a preference to a specific kind. There's grape. You can basically make anything into vodka. Oh, you're a Tito's. That's what my mom is. So we call her Grandma Harley, but yeah. $65 to $80, okay. And millennials what, Funny? Because I've also heard there's a Gen Y somewhere in there based on some market statistics. And again, these are not think tanks or government data. These are consultants, and Funny knows dealing with consultants. So you're saying millennials 80 to 95 and Gen X is 65 to 80. All right, Shannon, go make those eggs. Gen Z, I think, is like 97 to 2012. Okay, so if those are correct, and I'm not saying they are or aren't. Wait, Funny, is it 80 to 95 or is it 85 to 97 for millennials? And what would be the gap? Is that Gen Y? Because again, I've heard that term as well. So where does 80 to 85 land? If Gen X ends in, there's like a half a decade gap there. All right, you guys kind of had me Googling it now on my secondary phone here. Okay, according to Google AI, a millennial is someone born in the early 80s to mid 90s, also known as Gen Y. So I will say I fall somewhere between Gen X, Gen Y, and a millennial. Somewhere in that range. That's according to Google AI, which they call Gemini, I think. And funny, this is what happens at the end of the day. The consultants make up their own data so that they can sell you new consultancy packages for multi-millions of dollars. It's the same darn people that have rebranded HBO Max, back to HBO Max, to the tune of $132 million over the course of 15 years. Yes, Peter, I was born somewhere in that range.
We're going to watch Wednesday.
Okay.
Shut up.
Yes.
Google AI is part of Google. Gemini is its own separate app made by Google.
Have a good night, Natalie. Thank you for stopping back. Exactly. We call that Keeblering. You fudge the hell out of the numbers and charge what you want. If they believe your story, you charge more. If they don't, you keep cooking it until they believe you. Consultants are such a racket. Exactly. More graphics, more colors, more stock photos. If I see one more happy family when you're trying to sell them something on a spreadsheet, oh my gosh. Or a PowerPoint, sorry, PowerPoint. Peter, this is what you have to look forward to. I don't care what generation you are. Eventually, you just get exhausted of it. Exhausted. It's the same thing year after year. It's a new widget cooked up by some new consultant firm that's supposed to change and shape this, that, or the other. See, funny, I'm a believer of AI doesn't take over until the Terminators or the Matrix happens. And if the Matrix is happening, we're still going to have jobs. We're just going to have it in our mind within the conceptual office space at the peak of our civilization. Why we become the batteries for our overlords. Either way, I still think you have a job. I would agree with you, Peter. I don't think you can do that with AI. There's certain things you can't do with AI. Nor would I want it done with AI. I would agree wholeheartedly. You're not going to get a carpenter to be able to do that via AI. You actually need the the sticks and framing to be done. And you might be able to build a robot that can do some portions of it. Same with bricklaying. But on a lighter note, chat, I think we're going to wrap it for tonight. It's 8:30. I was going to put the 8:30 countdown on, and I forgot to, so that's on me. Nonetheless, Mama and son have called it. They have moved up, so I'm going to wrap up. We got school tomorrow. 100% agree with you there. Even if you do have artist creativity, you still have a human behind the AI engine producing the art, so there's still human intervention. So, on that note, guys, I appreciate you. Peter, get some sleep. Hopefully we see you in the morning live. If we don't, all our best, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We had a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. It kind of ran the gamut. Thanks for stopping in, Funny. To anybody else that's still here, Matt, if you're still here, thank you so much, Natalie. If you're still here by chance, you have a great one. You guys take care. We will see you in a future one. All our best.